question, both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Bunny. A lot of people now, you said music heals and music is Bad Bunny. A lot of people on the right are saying, well, he's trying to feed the gay community, and he's not a good person for the kids to be in front of the stage, and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. What do you guys think about that?
Well, we tell people that this is very layered and
Yeah.
nuanced. So our responses are going to be from many multiple perspectives, keeping
Yeah.
in mind that we're independent, our background is music, television, and also that we as human beings are Republican, right?
Right.
So it is a little bit nuanced. We love Bad Bunny's songs, not all. He made his last album, which kind of dedicated to the Puerto Rican community, and it was pretty much like a homage, not just to the island, but some of the Puerto Rican greats. As an artist, he's done what maybe any artist could maybe dream when it comes to like thinking about what I have access to and what through my team I can create to benefit people. Now, in terms of the Bad Bunny effect, there have been people who've benefited just from the visuals of his albums alone. Like, I recently traveled to Puerto Rico, and all these people had their little like chairs up again, like the little beach chairs everywhere in these random places.
Mhm.
His cover is two little chairs, so you would see the two little
Oh,
chairs in
wow.
different settings on the island. You would see these people coming out of the airplane from different parts of the world, coming onto the tiny island, and they had their little straw hats already, and they were so happy. They felt like they were a part of this globalness. So yeah, he speaks only Spanish, but we were surprised because we've been in very conservative Republican spaces where a party lights up and you have white college girls singing "Yo quiero Bad Bunny, Titi me preguntó." So the whole thing that he's not crossover, maybe people are not familiar with him, but he is one of
Yeah.
the biggest international artists now. So then that's that side. The other part is there is some conflict with him. He is living in the United States, from what I gather, enjoying the fruits of capitalism,
Right.
while his music and maybe when he gets a little political seems to promote either Puerto Rico independence, but he's also aligning himself or maybe funded, right? There's all these little things by people who have Marxist socialist kind of leanings.
Right.
So it's very complicated. Then we have that he's a music industry artist. What do we see with music industry? They tend to compromise in some way something. Now,
Usually under contract
it's
that they
usually
don't have
under
a choice
contract. Now,
on.
whether or not he's doing it because it's because of something he got contracted to do, or what we tell people is you have to also see the isness. The isness is that there is a large LGBTQ community, is a large trans community, and they love his music too. You know, I see this as follow the money. You
Right.
know,
Right.
in terms of why people are upset with terms of like the Super Bowl and him saying I don't like America, or I would not play in America. I can understand why people feel disrespected. And is he the fit for Super Bowl? I don't know, but Jay-Z's the one that. So let's talk about Jay-Z and all those other decisions then.
I think
Wow.
that he's the perfect. I don't need to add anything else. She essentially kind of
Killed
checked
it.
them all off. But essentially, I'm just gonna, it's just kind of go back to what I said earlier. This is a perfect situation of two things can be true at the same time. So he has both brought a lot of wonderful things to the music, the culture, and he is also both bringing a lot of confusion and controversy. So kind of doing both at the same time, and like she said, very nuanced. And yeah, you just at the end of the day, you can't take it personally. You can't get too low, like you were saying earlier. Like,
Bunch.
yeah, you can't like look at any one situation. It's like you were saying, the moment you allow
Yeah.
something to get you too much, it's already crossed you're taking too much power from you.
Right. Right.
You got to learn to look at things with, okay, some sort of space, whether you agree with it or not. And
Yeah, as you saw by my response, Van. I have thought about it a little bit. You know why? Because the other day I made I think I put up a less than 30-second clip. I said like two words, and people were responding like all these sentences, and I'm like, oh, this is charged up. So my sister and I have spent some time preparing because we're wondering if we need to make a statement, and maybe we kind of did.
Yeah, but in the end, because we have so many, we've been a part of so many worlds. It really has blessed us with different perspectives. So we don't look at the situation and just see black and white, or just fall right into the controversy that's being fed to us. Which everything gets weaponized too, and that's the other thing I would say, that we're living in times where the moment it gets a little bit too all over the place, social media, news, something got weaponized for some other reason. So if they want us distracted over here, what is it that they're taking us away from?
Right.
So
What's
I
going
always
on in the
like
world
to,
that we're not paying
exactly.
attention
So
to?
that's the other thing that my sister and I keep talking about. It's like, okay, it's blown up. That's not normal. Okay, to these
Because
levels,
everybody's just like, come on,
not
everything.
normal. It's normal if
How
it's in
is
a
he
niche
on our feed
community.
everywhere? Like we don't
Everywhere.
post about Bad Bunny like
Right.
this.
But he's in places where he normally would have never been, which is the more, weirder situation, and therefore more proof that, they're distracting us once again,
And
Per usual.
monies. There's monies. People are not stupid. JC is not stupid. He's
At
a
all.
huge international artist. So even if all the Americans are not plugged in, clued in, I didn't know, and I was one of those people catching twos. Like, who the heck is this guy? And then I did my homework. I started reading up and looking at some documentaries, and your worldview will expand with more information. That's what happened when Trump too. People were talking so much crap about him, and we're like, oh, we've got a podcast, let's do some research. And then we started doing some research, and then we were like, wait, this kind of doesn't fit in what the people over here are really angry about. But what we were a little bit naive to is like, hey guys, guess what I discovered? Oh, you're one of those people. You've
Ah,
become
you're
a
not.
Trumper.
Yeah.
You've become a Trumper. I'm worried about you.
and then the ultimate thing happened. We got scarlet lettered,
Till this day.
and that's it.
Bendito.
You get just kind of, you get the T letter, and everything and anything you do is just that.
Oh, wait,
So-
but wait. This is funny because there's a little symmetry here. So in November, we went to MSG when Trump was there, and I had no idea that this would blow up so much with the joke that was heard around the world.
Yeah.
But there we are, like we are little stinky Puerto Ricans. So they went there with two Puerto Rican hats.
Oh
Right?
Lord.
Not the MAGA hats, right?
Yeah.
So we're popping out of MSG feeling like we just came out of a New Year's Eve celebration, right? It was because it was really amazing up in there. And who do we bump into? We bump into Lou Valentino. Oh my God, the
Shout to Lou.
perfect.
Shout to Lou.
So he was on Alive. We were feeling alive because we were coming. So we weren't really measuring everything. Anyway, he tells us, ladies, if we can ask you some questions. So there we are with our little Puerto Rican hats. And he asked us questions. What do we think of the joke? And we said, we like jokes. We had no idea that making that terrible statement would get us in so much trouble with the Puerto Rican community the very next day.
And you like jokes.
Just by saying we like jokes. And we both said in that little clip that went viral, 2.5 million, that we didn't like the joke that he said. That had he known that New York City was so full of Puerto Ricans, he would have known that would not have landed in NYC.
We literally was just defending, free speech and comedians. Just
But people were in our comments saying that we were traitors. They told us that they wanted us to die of fentanyl. All this stuff.
we got called everything you could think
hundreds
of.
and hundreds of comments.
All these threats, like it was absolutely insane. Yet there we were, we were called all of these things. Yet there we were, the one hat we chose to wear in a sea of people wearing either red, white, and blue or MAGA hats. We were there representing Puerto Rico because
Yo soy boricua, pa' que tú lo sepas.
exactly, and even though we were born and raised here and we love our country, but we also love our ancestor country. And we've never been apologetic about that. And so there we were. And
Wow.
yet, yeah, we woke up to a lot of hate for the next few weeks.
Has
So
that
yeah, I
gotten
mean,
better? I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that there are some people in the United States that are still learning that Puerto Rico is part of the United States, and so when they were saying that Bad Bunny should be deported, I'm like, guys,
Guys,
you got to
It's
do a little
ridiculous.
bit of
little
lessons, a
geography, a little
little,
history.
come on, understand this a little bit.
And then
So
also the fact that people were also very upset that he would be singing in Spanish, but Puerto Rico is a part of the US and it is a Spanish speaking country. Is it really that far fetched that a Spanish speaking artist from there, from this country, would perform in Spanish too? Also, especially when there's a huge rise in Spanish people in the country anyway. So, yeah, again, things are getting weaponized a little bit too much. And so, my sister and I were always like, folks, don't get lost in the sauce. Just don't get lost in any sauce because
yeah,
there's always a bigger and deeper reason or motivation for it, a different agenda.
and ultimately, it's like to what you said, Van. We're all here in this planet together. We don't really have to like each other, but
Fact.
we can just at least try to be respectful.
That's it.
And with the Bad Bunny situation, because there's so many different temperatures on whoever wants to share an opinion, what I will say is we can use this moment to educate people and fill in those holes, like, Puerto Ricans, that you know your history so well. Explain to the Americanos here in the United States why the Puerto Rico has such an abusive relationship with the United States, so that there could be understanding. But when we're doing it with vitriol and we're doing it with FUs, that doesn't go anywhere.